Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Paradise Hills. This is Jerry, Grizzly Bear Sims, and welcome and thank you for coming back for yet another video. This is episode number 7. Now, one thing that I want to say is that I realize that I've had some low audio volume issues with the first several episodes, and it took me a little while to make the correction because I thought I was doing the right thing by creating episodes in advance and making sure that I had content so that I could make every effort to try to release something on a regular basis for you all to enjoy. And so unfortunately, before I realized that the volume was that the game volume was a little bit too high and it was drowning out my commentary, it took me a little while to correct it, and I corrected it around episode 4, episode 5, something like that, and then I've made yet another correction now as we go into episode 7. So just a few things. You may notice a little bit of difference between the money, our bank account value between now versus episode 6. I did a little bit of forestry sort of off camera. I know that forestry is not for everyone. Not everyone enjoys watching forestry. I wanted to kind of try it out, and it had been a little while since I had worked forestry, and forestry is made a lot easier with joystick setup that I have. And by the way, if you're interested in how to get your joystick and your Logitech controllers and everything all working together in FarmSim 15, definitely check out that video that I have where I walk you through that process. That's helped quite a few people. So here we are. This is yet a brand new day. This is day 4 here on Paradise Hills, and this is field number 1. This is our wheat crop, and we're just taking a look at our soil conditions and such, and just sort of making a note of these things in our log to try to find out, where we are and what we sort of need to do today to get this field going. And before of course, we sort of went through the spreadsheet and everything, I think, in the last episode. And again, I'm going to refer you guys to the 5-part series that I did on soil mod, because that I break everything down in a lot more detail than I'm probably going to cover in these videos, and I invite you to go back and look at those. So we'll just take note. This is our wheat field. We're still slightly, acidic on our pH. Unfortunately, there's really nothing else that we can do about that right now, because with the growth where it is, I don't want to apply any more lime. So we will just address that in the next cycle, or in the next after we harvest, but as we prep this field for the next planting, we'll address the pH level. But so we're going to make note of these levels: the nutrients at 7, soil moisture at 57%, nutrients pK of 1. So today we will actually be spraying pK today on this field. Our weed prevention, our herbicide is fine. We've got 2 days there. So we are going to spin around, and we're going to run over here to our cornfield, because you may remember in the last episode, I sort of realized something that I did not know about soil mod and the way that the soil mod works with lime. So, you may remember that for this field, just prior to us plant or sowing it with corn, I spread lime and I cultivated that lime in, and then sort of realized that as it was cultivating the lime in, that we were seeing it was going from 5.4 up to 6.2 in pH. So immediately after it cultivated the lime in, I then spread another, sorry about that, I then spread another dose of lime on the field, and then took the measurements and didn't notice a change. But after midnight, after midnight, between day 3 and day 4, it the pH came up. So that certainly helps us because it allows me to take care of this field, I think, a little bit more properly, a little bit more the way that it would be done in real life. In other words, not spreading lime onto a field that has any sort of visible crop on it. So again, the pH level at the beginning when we first took ownership of this field, it was at 5.4. We spread and cultivated the lime in. That brought us up to 6.2, and then I spread another dose of lime immediately thereafter, and it bumped us up to 6.6 on average. So you kind of have to walk around, but that's where we are. And so I've gone ahead and noted our nutrients of 3, our pK of 2. So today on this field, we're actually going to be spraying N fertilizer on this field. So we're going to do N on this field, pK on field number 1. And so let's go ahead and get that started, and we will sort of talk about some other things that are that's going on in the community. So let me just back our sprayer out really quick here and go ahead and we'll fill this up. And again, I hope the audio volume or audio levels are satisfactory now. I know that I've watched some videos of some YouTube guys, and you can almost not even hear the game sounds, the tractors and such. And I believe that that's important. I believe you guys want to hear that. I know I certainly do, but yet at the same time, you want to be able to hear any sort of words of wisdom, if I certainly have any, for you. So hopefully this will work. So we will go ahead and drive out to field number 1 here, very carefully, not to run into anything. 7:45 in the morning here on what I believe is going to be a beautiful day. And of course, we are choosing to spray versus spread. In other words, we're using liquid forms of fertilizer versus granular or powder type fertilizer because of our weather forecast. So our weather forecast is showing today is going to be a high of 17, tomorrow is 24. We don't have any rain in the forecast for this particular field. So every bit of moisture that our fields get, it's going to come in the form of artificial moisture in the form of the fertilizers that we use, and or just plain water. We can also spray water with this particular rig. So let's just get up here and let me select our spray type. And again, technically we should not be able to adjust the spray type away from the facility, but for whatever reason we can. So we are going to spray PK. Sorry about that. Just want to make sure that I get everything right. So we will turn on the sprayer and go. So anyway, what I was saying a bit earlier is, I work to try to get a bit of a backlog, a queue, if you will, of video content recorded, and you're sort of watching things almost well, in some cases a week over. And I've talked about things which unfortunately anyone that's watching some of these videos, well, it's no longer applicable. And so what I'm going to try to do is, I'm really not sure just how many videos I'm going to be able to produce and put up on YouTube, per week. I'd like to think that I am capable of maybe doing, you know, 2 videos a week, maybe 3. But again, you know, I also enjoy other games like ETS2, ATS, Flight Sim, etc. So what I'm going to try to do is you're probably going to see a bit of rapid succession um, with regards to some of the videos that you've been seeing leading up to, you know, this episode, episode 7. And of course, the schedule will drop off just a little bit, but I'm going to try to get everyone sort of caught up so that I'm no more than 1 week behind. Because if I start talking about important things, like I sort of mentioned in episode 2, I believe it was, I sort of talked about the upcoming cattle and crops announcement that was coming up on that particular Friday, and I think I'd recorded that video on the Tuesday or Wednesday before. And of course, by the time you actually watched it, which I didn't actually make that video available to view until I believe it was about October. It was about October 5th, and so some of you guys missed out on that. But I will try to do a little bit better job, as I need to try to do a little bit better job of backing the sprayer up. So Cattle and Crops obviously made their big announcement on the Friday. It was September 30th. And what a huge announcement that was, let me tell you. You know, as I had mentioned in that episode, I think it was maybe episode 2, I had said that I had, you know, was a bit concerned about whether or not Cattle and Crops really was real, whether it might be vaporware, whether it might be a hoax. And I'm not the only one. Many folks had sort of questioned the same thing, because, you know, they put out information early in the year and it sort of got everyone's attention, and then we just never heard from them very much. And of course, their website still said that they were going to release in 2016. And so when this announcement, or when the news of this announcement came out, you know, the website still said that Cattle and Crops was going to come out in 2016, and it was sort of like, okay, we've not heard a peep from you in several weeks, actually maybe over a month or 2, and yet here you've got this big announcement. You're going to release some gameplay footage, and you're still advertising on your website that you're going to release the game in 2016. Well, if you saw that announcement, if you watched the video, awesome video, by the way, really awesome video. I am so excited about Cattle and Crops. You learn that they actually were advertising a Kickstarter campaign. That Kickstarter campaign started on that particular Friday, so that was September the 30th. And basically the Kickstarter was asking for, or the initial Kickstarter was asking for $75,000. And as of right now, and of course this is October the 5th, they have actually earned 152% of that goal. They are at 114,000 euros. Sorry, I think I said $75,000. I meant 75,000 euro. So pretty incredible response rate. Yes, I am a backer of Cattle and Crops. I decided to put my money where my mouth is, and you know, and of course, I did not want to be sitting around in the spring or even late next fall when the game is to be released. In the spring, we should see a sort of maybe a beta type release. I'm just going to come back up through the middle right here because I believe I missed a spot. Anyhow, I chose the option that includes the 1 year of the DLC, and yeah, so I'm actually quite excited about it. So what's really going to happen is for those that backed the program and backed it at that particular level in which I backed it. Maybe all the programs are the same. The way that it's supposed to work, and I'm just switching my other monitor on here and trying to move some papers out of the way while I do quite a few things at the same time here, so that I can see what I'm talking about. But essentially, early access to the game, and I think it's going to kind of be a early, well, they're calling it an early access version, is going to be sometime, we believe, in the spring of 2017. The um, the actual full release version is supposed to come sometime in the I think in the fall time frame. So probably would come out. My guess would be somewhat like a year from now in this sort of time frame, which is which actually, even though, I think even though we can all say that we might be slightly disappointed, because I think for the last several months we have thought that cattle and crops was going to come out this year, and of course it's not going to. But I think that actually might be a good idea, or a good plan on the part of cattle and crops, because obviously this year it's all about Farming Simulator 17 and a few of the others that have come out, like um, what is it, Pro Farmer 2 or whatever. Um, but obviously the big hype is FS17. Um, I really think, based on what I saw in the Kickstarter plan, and let me just, before I get too far ahead of myself, I need to grab my notes for my cornfield, which is field number 2, and we are going to be spraying. We're going to spray in. So type in. So let's go ahead and change that to in, and then head down to the field. So obviously, again, this year is sort of the year of FS17. Next year, cattle and crops won't have as much major competition as what they have this year. And so, having said that, it should make things better for them. So let's unfold our harvester, or our sprayer. I'm going to get another drink here of iced tea. So yeah, that's the good news about cattle and crops. They have announced today, I believe, was when I saw it. They announced some additional stretch goals, which are pretty cool. If they reach 125,000 euro, the game will be translated into Czech, Danish, Dutch, French, Italian, Polish, Russian, and Spanish, in addition to the default English and German languages. If they hit 175 euro, they'll add voice acting for missions, campaigns, and tutorials in English, German, and French. If they reach the 250,000 euro level, it is called Move That Mountain, and they'll implement a more realistic behavior of bulk goods. Includes physical movement in trailers, rolling in silage heap, and tipping cargo to piles on the ground. Actually, I think that option 2 and option 3 should be reversed. I really don't care about voice acting for the missions and such like that. I really would like better game, more realistic game behavior. And then finally, number 4, a saddle for the masses. If they reach 350,000 euro, the first paid DLC will be available and free for all. So you can go out to their website, cattleandcrops.com, click on the Kickstarter program information, and that will take you to the website, and you can continue to still pledge. Obviously, they've met the first goal, but these stretch goals still, as I reported earlier, are still have still not been met yet. So in addition to the forestry that I did, just want to make sure we have a nice overlap, and we do. So in addition to the forestry and stuff, we are going to do animals. We're going to do we're going to get the greenhouses going. Day 4, which is what we've just begun with episode 7, is probably going to be multiple episodes. We're probably going to stretch this day out, as potentially long as possible, because I do plan within day 4 to get the greenhouses going, make sure that we've got all of the things that we need for at least cattle, to get cattle going. So we need some grass. We've got straw, we've got silage, but we need total mixed rations. So we need to get the grass or the hay, the straw, and the silage in the mixing plant, getting that working. So we will do that as well. But obviously our goal right now, or our priority right now, is to, get these fields taken care of, cared for, and that's what we're doing here. So unfortunately, the sprayer, obviously for this field, this size, field number 2, we do have to go back to the farm and refill it a couple of times, because we can essentially go down and back on a tank. And so what we will do is we will finish this pass, and we will fold up, and then we will go back up to the top of the hill, and we will refill and then come back down. At some point, we will invest in a field supply truck. It's actually a mod by Stevie, the same modder who has wonderfully developed the map here, Paradise Hills. He has an awesome supply truck that has the ability to refill your fertilizer, refill fuel, refill seeds, etc. And it looks pretty darn good as well. So we will take advantage of that at some point. Now regarding forestry, we'll probably do some forestry on camera. I just sort of felt like that I wanted to sort of just see if I could clear some of the rust off my abilities of running the loader and that sort of thing, and it turned out okay. I mean, I managed to get all of the facilities going, and later today I will take you all down there and show you what I'm talking about. sure we're still spraying in, and we are. And we're off again. So let's see, what else did I want to talk about? So if you're watching this video and you are not aware of the PC-SG Simulation Gaming Group, please allow me to direct your attention to this fantastic website and community. Again, it's pc-sg.uk. Fantastic, very mature, by the way, simulation gaming community. If I'm honest, there's probably a lot more conversation and a lot more content related to farming sim than the other simulation platforms. But we basically have forums for all of the major simulation type games. So truck sim, farm sim, flight sim, train sim, etc. And as I said before, it's very mature. It's very quick and easy, and obviously free to register. You can register, and it takes you less than 60 seconds to do that. We have a very mature and relaxed approach to moderation. I'm one of the moderators in the community, and I've been a part of the community for over a year now, and really enjoy the camaraderie and the rest of the participants that are part of this site. And you're going to want to register for PCSG if you are not already, because I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. Really, I'm not going to go into any detail other than to just say that you're going to want to do this, because at some stage we're going to do at least one giveaway, and it's going to be pretty cool, I think. And so you're going to want to be a member in order to take advantage of that. So again, get out there and register for that site. It's very easy. It's free. It takes you, like I said, less than 60 seconds to do that, and you will be good to go. Okay. And when you do, say hello to us. Say hello to me. Say hello to all of the community there. There I go again, forgetting to hide the HUDs. And we need to go back up to the top of the hill and refill. This will be the last refill that we will have to do for this field. Obviously, I corrected the capacity or the mod issue. This particular mod, I had two of them. One of them had like a 25,000 liter capacity on it. Not realistic, so I made sure I got the correct mod. If you're interested in this mod, the sprayer, you can look on grizzlybearsims.com. Again, that's grizzlybearsims.com, and I've got a mod spreadsheet that I keep track of all of the mods that that I use. All right, let's just back up and head back down to that cornfield. And get this last pass in. And then our chores for these two fields will be complete. So, as I believe I said in an earlier episode, I live in Colorado. I live in Denver, Colorado to be exact. My wife and I, on October the 2nd, on Sunday the 2nd, we drove up to Estes Park, Colorado, which is basically at the front door of Rocky Mountain National Park. And on the way up, we passed by several cornfields, sort of in north of Denver. It was sort of, if you look on a map, you see I-25. You look sort of north of Denver, north of downtown. To the west, you kind of see Boulder. We went up to Longmont and then turned west, turned left, and then headed out towards the town of Lyons, Lyons, Colorado. And between I-25 and Lyons there, noticed a number of cornfields, and still, even as late as October 2nd, they had not been cut yet, not been harvested. And we are, well, in Rocky Mountain National Park, when we were there on, we went into the park on Monday, and it actually snowed, and the temperature was in the low 40s, high 30s. I-70 up in near Eisenhower Tunnel was closed for a period of time on, I believe it was Monday, due to snow. Steamboat Springs is getting snow. So winter is coming to Colorado. As a matter of fact, we were supposed to get down to an overnight low tonight of about 34, 35 degrees here in Denver, here in the city. But of course, next week, I think we're supposed to be back up in the upper 70s, maybe even the low 80s. So sort of one of those things that, wait 5 minutes and the weather will change. For me personally, I believe fall is my favorite season. You know, I read somewhere that for most people, your favorite time of year or your favorite season is around your birthday. And so my birthday was just last week, actually. I turned the big 50, the big half century mark. Um, and so my favorite season has always been the fall. I think, even growing up as a child, um, once football season here in the USA, American football started, the cooler temperatures, Halloween, Thanksgiving, that's always been my favorite time of year. All right, well, that chore has been completed. We can check that off our list. And again, we are done with fields 1 and fields 2. And we will take this guy back up the hill. Park him up in here. That didn't work out so well. All right, well, let's get in here because I think what we're going to need to do is, we've got those 2 fields down south that we took care of in um, day 3. We 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 both spread and cultivated lime in. So what I think we need to do is we need to think about what our game plan is going to be for those fields as far as what we want to plant on them. And head down there and start that process. Okay, we've got seeds, so we don't need to fill our seeder. So what we're going to do is we're going to form just a little bit of a convoy and take a couple of different pieces of equipment down there with us, and we'll hire a hand. We'll get Bill to come along with us. Bill's a pretty good hand. We'll put him in the deer here. Actually slowly but surely starting to learn my way around the map here. It'll take me a little bit of time though. It's just kind of the way it is. if you don't use the follow me mod, then why not? This is an excellent mod for doing just this, getting your equipment moved from point A to point B. You can sort of daisy chain as much equipment as you want behind each other and move stuff around. And if you're interested in the Follow Me mod, yep, you'll find a link to it on my mod spreadsheet. So go to grizzlybearsims.com. Again, that's grizzlybearsims.com, and take a look at that. And if you just look over in the lower left-hand corner of the screen, the map HUD, this mini map HUD, you'll see my icon, which is the green and black arrow, and then directly behind me you see the FM. That stands for Follow Me, and that's the second tractor behind us. So I saw a very interesting, I think it was the Giants dev blog was released either yesterday or today. So we're talking about October 5th, 4th or 5th time frame. And it talked about FS17 functionality with track IR. So that's going to be real. It's going to happen, and that's pretty cool. And I just hope, again, I hope that the functionality or the in-cab experience is a little bit better with FS17 than what we've seen with FS15 FS15, because it would really be nice to be able to better utilize mirrors and some of the stuff in the cab. And through the mud we go. All right, so you may remember again that in the previous episode, we basically just spread lime and we cultivated that lime in. So I need to grab a worksheet here really quick because we want to go ahead and fill this worksheet out and figure out how we're going to address this. And I think for this field, we're going to plant this field in canola. And we're just going to record our initial soil pH of 6.2, our nutrients of 4, our pK of 2, and our soil moisture of 56%. And then we're going to just jump over here. We're going to take a look at our weather forecast. And we have, according to this, we have one day above 22 degrees Celsius. And unfortunately, we have no rain days. So, yeah. So it's going to be artificial moisture, most likely. So I'm just going to Alt Tab, and I'm going to bring over our spreadsheet, and then you can kind of see me go through this again. I go through this in much greater detail in the video series that I did, And so oilseed rape. So our pH is 6.2. Our soil moisture is 56%. We are at 4 and 2. We have 1 day per growth cycle. We have 1 day above 22 degrees. We have no rain days, and we have none of this other stuff. So let's kind of take a look at where things are. Lime would be used 1 time. It's going to be spread, and it's going to be cultivated 1 time because we've already done that. And N and 1 herbicide, double dose of herbicide. Why would our humidity be so high? Let me just take a look and see. Oh, that's maybe the case. Let's drop that down to 1, and that's better. 56%, 93% crop yield. I think that's pretty good. 5 and 3. pH would be a little bit high, but I think that'll be okay. And so yeah, so let me go ahead and make these notes. So this is our plan: to water 1 time, to lime once, cultivate and spread, which we've already cultivated and spread once, but we will spread lime 1 more time. We're going to do 1 N and 1 PK, both liquid. We're going to do a double dose of herbicide, and let me just check my chart here to see which herbicide works with canola and oilseed rape. We can use double C once again, and we'll do that 1 time. All right, so we'll just go ahead and save this. So if we need to come back to it, we can, and then get that out of the way. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get in our, I'm going to get in this guy. Ourselves up a little bit better. And we're going to hire a worker and let him spread the lime on the field. Took a little while to get set up. Sorry about that. time. All right, well, we're approaching the 1 hour mark for this particular video, and I do want to try to keep the sessions under 1 hour, if at all possible. Looks like we're off again. I don't understand why that is. And what's going to happen is in just a minute it's going to line back up again, and the two areas on the right and left is going to line back up. I do need to look into that. So what I'm going to do is when I get up here to the end of the field, I'm going to hire a worker to finish seeding this field. See, there's a gap here, and then it comes back together. I wonder if that's something to do with either the soil mod or this seeder or my lack of knowledge on GPS mod, combination of all of these things put together. Not sure, but we're going to turn this guy around and we're going to get him lined up here, and we are going to hire a worker. We are going to go to our sprayer. We're going to back him up, and the sprayer needs to go down to the south end of the farm. C, spraying the herbicide, and looks like it's really cloudy. Something's going on here. So yeah, I will go ahead and move the sprayer down south, and we will resume with should be episode number 8. At that point, and of course we will finish, we'll spray that field and probably start tackling some of the other little tasks that we need to do on the farm, including getting the greenhouses going. We've got to do a couple of things there. We need to get some compost, we get the compost machines working. We will need to and then start, as I mentioned, doing a little bit of mowing. That will get us some grass that we'll need for our cows, and yeah, go from there. See how things go from that point forward. We're going to take a shortcut through the forest here. So yeah, so thanks for coming back, and hope that you'll continue to come back. Please like. Please follow me on YouTube. Please like the video. That helps tremendously. And check out PC-SG, that group. You'll find a link there in the show notes. Also, if you're interested in playing Stevie's map, definitely do that. It's a wonderful map, and Stevie's such a talented modder with all of his mods, both maps and his equipment and so on and so forth. So check his stuff out. Well, I'm getting tired. It was a long day at work today, and I think it's probably starting to show with my little bit of lack of communication and maybe even a lack of enthusiasm. So I do apologize for that. It's time to end the video, so we will do that. And again, thanks for watching, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.